everyone. So welcome to our LCC 122 webinar, Revisiting Reading Strategies for Better Comprehension. And I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Mirs Farzana and I'll be your moderator for today. So as you all know, we are going to have our reading and writing assessment next week. So today's session will be very useful for you to learn about some useful reading strategies that can help us to improve our comprehension. And it is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Puan Hamizah Zahari from University Malaysia Pahang Al Sultan Abdullah, UMPSA. And Puan Hamizah is an experienced TESOL educator with over 10 years of experience in English language teaching. She is also passionate about helping students to improve their English skills and become more confident language users. So we are delighted to have her here with us today. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Puan Hamizah Zahari. Puan Hamizah.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much, the moderator, Ms. Farzana, for the very delightful introduction. Okay, I hope that you can hear me clearly. Can you give me a quick thumbs up?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, nice. So firstly, I am very happy to be invited again after a year. I think the last time we've met was 362 days ago. Okay. But this is again a new cohort of students. I'm very happy to have everybody here. I can see there's quite a number of students who have already joined this session. And I hope that my sharing today will somehow help you a bit in your preparation for your assessments next week, next 2 weeks. Okay. Okay. So I was informed that you have quite a lot of different kind of reading comprehension questions format, and addressing them, I believe it has been done by your teachers. Okay, the formats to, the techniques to answer the reading questions. Okay, I hope that my sharing session today will give you a little added value, perhaps. Okay, and it can serve as a revision. Okay, so I am also hoping for an interactive session. Okay, you may unmute your mic if you want to, or you can also use the chat. I hope the chat is working. Is it working, Miss Lana or Miss Maisara? I hope that people can give responses to the chat.
Yeah, it is, I think.
Okay, nice. Okay, I hope that the chat is working, and I hope that everybody can, share your responses there. Okay, let's take a look. Let's begin the session now. A little bit about me. Okay, I'm Hamizah. I'm a language teacher here in UMPSA. Been working here for more than 10 years. And some of my activities, apart from teaching, which is my first task at UMPSA, is to lead some action research pertaining teaching and learning, especially in English language. Okay, and I'm also one of the micro-credential course developers here in UMPSA, very active with MUET. I'm certified Google educator, as well as Gemini certified faculty and Gemini certified educator as well. As you can see there on the screen, this is the picture I've taken with my students this semester. Okay, UMPSA, we have already finished our academic semester sebenarnya. And I'm sure you are also struggling with completing the long stretch of academic weeks. I'm sure you are a little bit different, kan? Your mid-semester break was, I can't remember bila, week 5 weeks, week 4, tak ingat saya. And then you have a very long stretch of academic weeks. I hope that everybody is still motivated to learn even though you're tired, I'm sure, but you have your lecturers here. I'm sure that they're there to guide you, okay, and motivate you along the way. So this is a little bit about me. Okay, now let's take a look at our agenda. Okay, this is the topics that I hope we can cover today. Uh, not really much. Okay, we're going to begin with the importance of reading comprehension. I'm sure you are doing or you are in this webinar because you're preparing for your exams. But reading comprehension is a skill that can serve you after you graduate, after you have, when you are working. So reading comprehension is an important skill sebenarnya. And then we cannot run away from digital reading. Okay, as we know, it is a common way of uh, 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 getting input nowadays. We cannot avoid from screens. Therefore, it does come with a set of challenges and a set of opportunities. Okay, so we are going to look at digital reading and how is it different from printed reading. Okay, and then we're also going to look at critical reading. Okay, critical reading, especially in the age of AI, where we have AI tools to help us in our daily life, or, or in your case, in your academic purpose, for your academic purposes. Therefore, you have to be able to employ critical reading. Okay. And finally, before we wrap up, we're going to look at the methods to use AI for reading, especially to enhance your comprehension. I'm not sure whether it's going to be an open book assessment in your case. But for UMP, we do allow students to use AI for their assignments, not a test, not as a test. Yeah. For assignments, yes, we do use AI. Jadi, this is also important, I think, something that you might want to consider learning as well. And finally, we're going to wrap things up with a quick reflection and a Q&A session. Boleh? Are you still with me? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 topics. Boleh? Okay. I'm not sure about the temperature today. So I hope that my students are also joining the session. Okay. Maybe some of you are still feeling a little bit groggy after watching some of the World Cup matches. If you were to ask me sekarang ni, I tak berapa nak ada mood lah. Mostly because Germany is not only in the top 16, jadi I feel a little bit down since yesterday. Jadi tak apalah. But you know, life must go on. I'm not sure about you. Are you keeping up with the World Cup ke tak? But yes, it does affect me, mainly because I'm one of the Germany. I'm supporting Germany. Okay. So let's begin the session with a quick question. Okay. Have you ever misread something important? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items on the screen right now. Okay. And I want to make a quick poll. Okay. And I want to see your responses. Okay. Among the items there, which one is you? Which of these has ever happened to you? A, submitted the wrong assignment. Submitted the wrong assignment because you misunderstood the instruction. Number 2, or B, you missed the deadline because you misread an email or WhatsApp message from your lecturer. C, you bought something online that turned out to be different from what you expected. I don't know whether this is familiar with you or not, Miss Maisara. You bought something online, turned out that it is out of spec or a different spec. Or D, always. Okay. Or D, misunderstood someone's text message. And later you created unnecessary drama. This is something that happened when you are in a group assignment. or D, or E perhaps? None of the above. It never happened before because you are a perfect reader. So A, B, C, D, or E. Can you respond in the chat? Please type in the chat A, B, C, D, or E. I want to see
E.
a quick response. That was very quick. Thank you very much, Mr. Said, for your response. B. Let's take a look at the chat now. Fazla responded B. Michael responded B. D. E. Will never happen to you before. Hanis B. Mr. Deadline Aini B. Okay, thank you, Aina. D. Misunderstood someone's text message. It can happen. It can happen not only because we read poorly. No, sometimes the text can also be confusing. D. Ainur Akmal, thank you. Alizal responded D. Misunderstood someone's text message. Here's one. B has happened to you. C and D. Okay. Salsabila B. D. B and C. Oh, Miss Farzana. B and C. Okay. Zujami. Mr. Deadline. Okay. Thank you. You are very, that was a very confident answer. D, 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 D. Hafizul Adam, B and D. Okay. So I think this is a pretty common error or mistakes in our part. Pretty common. If I were to conduct the same survey for my students at UMPSA, I would receive similar responses. Okay, and it happened. Seriously, it happened every semester. Oh, kalau in your case part, every part mesti ada case ni. Mesti ada case B, mesti ada case A pun pernah. This semester A pun pernah. You send the wrong assignment. Because you misunderstood the instruction given. Mainly because assignments pun sekarang ni macam-macam jenis. There are a lot of kind of assignments. One particular assignment can be divided into two parts. A1, A2, so it can be very confusing. Yes. Thank you, Miss Maisara. Misreading is one thing. Misunderstanding is another thing. Okay. And D. Okay, D, yes, wrong intonation when reading. Okay. So all of this can happen and you have already experienced it. Well, at UITM, while you're still studying right now, this misunderstanding can lead to it can cost you your marks. Okay, it can lead to mark deduction. Betul? Okay. It can also affect your grade even. But in real life or in the industry when you are working, misreading an instruction can cost you more than that. Okay. Number one, it can cost you your, work opportunities, other work opportunities. Okay. It can cost you money even. Okay. Or worse, it can cost you your reputation at work. Okay. So it is important that whenever we receive a lot of information, just because we have our social media apps, we are very easily contacted by people. So we have a lot of information coming from so many sources, emails, apa lagi, WhatsApp, Telegram. So being able to read and understand and comprehend what we read is important. So at work, in real life setting, it has real consequences for you. So hope that you are taking this opportunity to be trained by your lecturers and knowing the importance of reading or comprehending what you read. Okay. So before we move to the technicality, we have to understand the reading tools. I'm not going to go into great detail about reading tools, in order for you to read, you need to have, reading tools, apa skills pun. Okay. So the main tools that we need when we are reading is your eyes. We read with your eyes. Okay, with our eyes. So have you ever heard of the term sekats before? Yes, no. Sekats. Okay. Sekats is actually the movement of your eyes. Okay, as in natural setting, we human being tend to move our eyes from one point to another. Itu memang kita punya fitrah. Yeah. Human beings, we have to move our eyes from one point to another. So sekats can be tricky because human tend to move it rapidly. It's rapid eye movement, and sometimes can be jerky as well. So if we cannot control our saccades here, it can somehow lead to poor reading time. Okay, poor reading time, and it can also lead to poor reading comprehension. So there are two techniques that we can do when we are when it comes to saccades. Yeah. The first technique is to do smooth pursuit when you're reading. What is smooth pursuit? This is something that sometimes you have already acquired sebenarnya, you dah buat dah. Smooth pursuit means you move your finger along the lines when you're reading. Contohnya, let me find. You move your finger lah. Very easy. You use your finger to, I hope you can see the screen. It's not showing. Okay, let's say this is the line. You move it, smooth trailing, smooth pursuit with your eyes. You use your finger or your pen to help and guide you to read, and it also helps with your focus. So I don't know. Have you ever done this before when you're reading? And some of you also loves to annotate when you're reading. But what is annotating? I think you have learned this in class. Annotating means you make notes. Okay, you write, you highlight perhaps. Okay, so that is smooth pursuit. Okay, you trail. Okay. Secondly, sub-vocalization. Sub-vocalization. Have you ever heard of sub-vocalization before? Sub. Okay, sub means, let's break the word down into parts. Sub means under. Vocal means speak. Right? Sub-vocalization means this is when you repeat what you are reading, okay, within your throat. Dalam tekak, kita tak dengar, under. So repeating the words verbally inside your throat box. So this is the meaning of sub-vocalization. So sometimes when we sub-vocalize what we read, it helps with having better comprehension. Okay, so these two techniques can help. Sometimes we do not notice, tapi betul, when we are reading, sometimes we make the sound in our throat. Ada sebenarnya. In fact, there are research also have been conducted that our throat is making movement. There are vibration. There are vibration that relates with the words that we are reading. Okay, vibrations according to the words, word by word. So these two techniques can be done to help your saccades better. Okay, instead of moving from one text to another, especially if you are reading a long script, okay, in a test. So make sure that you have that technique with you. Okay, so far so good. So here are the differences between printed and digital materials. We cannot run away from this type of materials now. Okay, especially as students, your reading materials is perhaps triple than ours as teachers. So it can be in the form of flyers, newspaper, posters, books, brochures, catalogs, or in the digital form, you have online articles, you have digital magazines, educational resources. What kind of what is it called in your ITM? Ilmu ke? What is it called? In UMP, we call this kalam. This is how it looks like. Kalam UMPSA. What is it called in UITM?
You future.
Apa dia?
You future kan?
You future. Ni. Everything is placed here. All of your materials, your learning assessments, your learning goals, your weekly planner. Imagine a large volume of reading materials, not only videos. You have everything pooled here in your You Future. Okay? Jadi, it is important for you to know the kind of reading strategies that you need to employ. Okay? So, educational resources, yes. Online comics, perhaps, if you enjoyed or reading online comics, e-brochures, or websites in particular. Okay? So, we have to understand there are different types of reading materials, and it requires different types or different strategies to read. Okay, I have another question for you. This will also require you to give feedback. My question is, do you think you understand a text equally well when reading on a screen and on paper? Let's talk about reading comprehension. Do you think you understand a text equally well when reading on a screen and on a paper? Does it have a difference? Can you respond yes, no, or depends? Can you write it on the chat box or a chat message there? Depends. Thank you. Thank you, Said. Alia responded depends. Hafiza also responded depends. Okay. Mikhail. Okay, thank you. He agreed with the statement. His one depends. Aini, thank you very much. Also depends. Asha, yes. There is a difference. Depends. Fazla, yes. Aina responded depends. Okay. Farzana. Yeah, Miss Farzana. Okay. Thank you very much for your responses. Okay. So what do you understand? So most of us here means it depends on situation. Can you kindly elaborate? In what kind of situation do you think it depends on? Some of you think that, yes, you understand a text on a printed material the same as you read online or you read on a screen. Okay. Perhaps when you responded depends, it means that yes, it can be content familiarity can be one of the reasons. Yes, you are right, Miss Masara. Lagi, perhaps the surrounding that you are in. Perhaps you have some background knowledge on the idea or the topic. Okay. Lagi? What about time pressure? Does it affect your comprehension? What about noises? Noises means distractions. I'm sorry. Distractions on screen, distractions on your surrounding. Yes. Okay. It can also be a part of the things that can affect your understanding. Okay. So here it is again. I'm showing you how does our kalam looks like. This is the volume. I mean, a sneak peek of the volume that my students see on a daily basis across the semester. So there are a lot of things there. Okay, a lot of things there, and it can be overwhelming. Okay. Not only that, you have also we have to also consider fatigue. Fatigue. I mean, when we look at too much information here, and some of the information can also move. Let's say some of the teachers love to put video ke, GIF ke, apa panggil tu, GIF kan. And when it moves a lot, there's a lot of noises, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of distraction. It can affect reading comprehension. It can affect reading comprehension. Yes, thank you, Ain. If it's a long text passage, yes, it's difficult for us to read online, but it can be easier when you have reading on a printed text. I have to agree with you. A long passage on the screen can be very difficult for us to read or to comprehend. Put eye fatigue into the picture. Okay, we can feel tired, especially when we strain our eyes too much on screen. That is why online classes or webinars cannot be more than 40 minutes sebenarnya. It can be tiring. Okay. So next. So I'm not just saying, claims that is not supported. There must be a supported claim. So this is one interesting research conducted by Delgado and his friends in 2018. Even though it's a research conducted long ago, it is still being cited until today. It's still being cited. Very big citation as well. The title of the paper is called "Don't Throw Away Your Printed Books." This is a meta-analysis on the effects of reading media on reading comprehension. The differences between reading comprehension on a printed material and on a screen, Okay, so this is a very big data. They've pulled a big data because this is a meta-analysis that involved 171 different studies. Okay, and it has around 171,000 participants. They want to compare reading comprehension on screen and on paper. Okay, bear in mind there are different types of reading materials as well. There are also different types of language used in this research, for example, juga. Okay, some of the text is in their native language, some of them is in their foreign language. So there are some discrepancy in data. But the key findings that Delgado and his friends have concluded is, number one, students generally they achieve better comprehension when reading printed text rather than digital text. This is interesting. But again, this is a research conducted in 2018. Things might be different now in 2026. I'm not sure. But it is said that they perform better or they understood better in printed text than digital text if they read under pressure. Okay, under pressure ni maksudnya apa? Maksudnya it's timed. For instance, you are in an assessment, dalam test you nanti kan. So in your test, I hope that your teachers are going to print it out for you and distribute tests, printed tests. Okay. Secondly, reading informational or expository text. If you read factual text, you can get better comprehension rather than reading literary punya text. Okay, and finally, they have also concluded that when you read longer text, it must require deep comprehension. So yes, you can employ reading strategies like annotating, skimming, scanning, apa lagi? Questioning what the author is intended to say, apa lagi? You want to practice your circuits, you want to practice, smooth reading, boleh buat.
Yeah.
So reading longer text requires you to deeper comprehension. Miss Afrina.
Nur Afrina.
Tadi aku buka ni babi.
Nur Afrina.
Awak budak aku
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss Fazana. Maybe it's accidental. It's accidentally. Okay, so no worries. Let's take a look now at the summary. Yeah, so the summary, Delgado and his friends, 2018, have concluded that people tend to be overconfident sebenarnya when reading digitally. They tend to be overconfident. This is something that we have to consider when we are reading, especially on screens, because they think they understand more than they actually do. Okay. So the effect here was stronger among university students who tended to overestimate their understanding when reading digitally. So that's also because this is a very long research. They have they have different samples, and that includes university students as well. So it's interesting to see for university students, they tended to overestimate their understanding, especially when they are reading on screen. Okay, so this is a very interesting research. So if let's say you are struggling with reading on screens, maybe you can try to adopt a different approach to it. Perhaps printing your notes from your teachers, from your lecturers here, you print it out, you read it on your papers instead of reading it on the screen. Okay, but I'm not saying that it is all bad. Not saying that reading on screen is something that we should avoid from doing. No, bukan. Because we as human being, we process information differently. We have our own preferences as well. So you need to, if we cannot do, the first technique, it does not work for you, you can switch or swap to a different technique. Okay. So now, after I've shared about why, the differences between reading comprehension, reading on printed materials and digital screen. What is the reason that this happened? Okay, now I want you to type in the chat box, maybe your understanding, maybe in one word. Okay, why do you think comprehension may decrease when we read on screens? Why do you think comprehension may decrease when we read on screens? Like your phone, for example, or perhaps your laptop, your monitor, your tablet, your iPads. Why do you think it happens? Anyone? Can you share it on your chat? Perhaps I'm going to give you 1 minute to sort of guess. Why do you think it? Why do you think I understand less when we read on screens? Okay, I'm going to give you one simple example. If you read on your phone, okay, at night before sleep, you went to your U Future. You buka U Future because next week kan test kan. You buka nota yang Miss Farzana, Miss Maisarah dah share. You buka and you read on the screen on your phone. I give you that example or that context. What do you think? Your comprehension may be lower than reading on printed screen. You buka ke phone, baca before you sleep. Tak katil kan? What? Miss Aisha mentioned about a millennial problem. Yeah, it happens to me too. Miss Maisarah, Padlet. I guess, the font size can also be a major contributing factor. Agree? In my case, I would be constantly disturbed by notifications. Reading on screens or on a small screens like this, notifications can come, whenever we go online. Yes, correct. Miss Hafiza, distracted by notification. And if it is a long text, like Miss Ain mentioned, it's a long passage, for example, we have the tendency to skim because it's really easy for us to scroll up and down. Memang mudah. Kita boleh scroll up, tendency to skim instead of really reading. And we find a difficult word or a difficult section, kita pun akan scroll. It is human nature to do that. Lagi? Who here is a multitasker? Raise your hand. Siapa kat sini multitasker? Yes. Hafizul, Sarah. Okay, I'm really bad at multitasking. I'm so sorry. When I multitask and when I'm reading on anything on the screen, it can come, notification can come, and you know, because I'm a bad multitasker, I cannot really focus on what I read. Hasha mentioned about the light. Yes. Are you aware about the dangerous, you know, blue light from your screen? It can also cause eye fatigue. Okay, correct. It can cause discomfort to your eyes. It can, and it will actually. Okay. Sometimes we are also disturbed by hyperlinks. Let's say you are opening your UFuture, and then in the particular passage to the other, in the particular page to, there's notes, and underneath the notes, so there are hyperlinks. You have the tendency to click on the hyperlink before even understanding what you read. You have the tendency to do that. So there are a lot of noises when you are reading from screens, actually. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for your responses. I think this is a problem that everybody face. Okay, and it's not and it is not something that alien to us, especially you guys as students. Okay, so all in all, screens does change how we read. Okay, it changes how we read, because from reading linearly from top to bottom, digital reading requires you to go non-linear. You can scroll up, you can scroll down, you can go left, you can go right, you can click on a hyperlink, you can click on a video, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of distraction there. And it also requires you to have the ability to do rapid scanning, read really fast. Okay, not like in my time, zaman I dulu tak lah, zaman I dengan Miss Sarah dulu tak macam ni. You guys have to move a lot faster because the world is moving a lot faster. I'm not saying that screens are actually bad, bukan sebenarnya, because in my time, resources are limited. Internet is limited. We have to dial in for our internet, and we have to go and carry our laptop. Kalau ada laptop masa tu, carry our laptop, go to Wi-Fi area, and then connect to it. It's a hassle. Not like right now. Resources are everywhere. With that influx comes a lot of volume. And it can be complex for students, can be complex for you. So you need to learn that reading digitally requires a different technique. Okay, and if you are unaware of the techniques, you there's a tendency that you can lead to misunderstanding. Okay. So instead of just consuming knowledge, this is critical thinking. So be aware of all of the different techniques when you're reading digitally. Okay, if you are still relying on books, then it's okay. Okay, your attention can be sustained instead of frequently switching from one point to another, mainly because you have a lot of things to internalize on the same page. Okay. So next on our agenda is critical reading. Okay, as a university student, you are not going to employ similar techniques when you are sitting for your SPM. I still have nightmare about my SPM because we have to consume knowledge. Sampai sekarang saya still lagi mimpi. Tengah malam mimpi ambil SPM sekali lagi. I have to resit from my SPM. I don't know why. Okay, but this is mainly because we are trained to memorize a lot. Back then, read to memorize, consume knowledge. But as university students, you need to interrogate knowledge. Interrogate. How do you interrogate? By asking questions, by asking questions. So this are the techniques of critical reading. Okay, do not simply agree with everything that you read online, especially. Kan, orang tulis sekian-sekian online, you point, yes, I agree, but you don't look at what is behind that. The misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So you need, as university student, you graduate nanti, you kena one level higher. One level higher, you have to think before, pause and think before you agree. So critical reading means you are actively reading, not just passively reading and agreeing to everything. Number one, you have to analyze. Okay, analyze whether the information is correct or not. Okay, analyze whether it is something that we can employ in our culture. Okay, evaluate the strength of the evidence in the text. Identify the biasness or assumptions. There's a lot of author that comes with intention. Authors can come with intention when they are writing. Sometimes they want to persuade you into believing a certain cause. So you need to identify, is there any biasness in this text? Okay, and then you have to learn how to comparing different viewpoints. When you are reading something, you need to have a lot of sources to support your claim. So you need to compare. And finally, you can decide whether the argument is convincing or not. Okay, and then later. Okay, so if I were to give you a statement like, artificial intelligence will eventually replace university lecturers. It will replace Miss Maisarah. It will replace Miss Farzana. It will replace Miss Hafiza. It will replace me. Okay, do you agree or disagree with the statement? So before you accept this claim, number one, you have to go through five different filters. Filter number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As a critical reader, this is what you need to do. You have to investigate. Okay, investigate what is the author's main argument. Is it legit? Not legit? Who is the writer? Does he have any credential? Okay, siapa yang bercakap tu kan? Sometimes people who are speaking or writing pun does not have any credential, but simply giving claims, okay, unsupported claims. What evidence is provided? There must be evidences. Okay, is it sufficient? Is the evidence sufficient? Is it based on research? Is it simply an opinion? Okay, so are there any data or examples given? Number 3, is the source credible? If it comes from a website that is so suspicious, yeah, you have to look at it. What are the qualifications from the source? Okay, is there any assumption? Is there any biasness? Okay, and finally, you can go with the statement, do I agree with it? And when you are thinking about, do I agree or disagree, there must be reason. There must be reason. Okay, look at the strength or the weaknesses of any claim. Okay, and then you can come with your own conclusion whether AI will eventually replace university lecturers or not. You have your future, kan? Is it enough to read by to learn using future alone? You decide. Okay, so here are some examples of expert readers. Okay, well, in my case, I'm only a novice reader. I read when I have to. But some people, they enjoy reading. I hope that you know these figures that I display on the screen. You kenal readers ni. Okay, Tun Mahathir is someone who enjoys reading. Until now, he's an avid reader. But interestingly, when I read his biography, he enjoys reading stories sebenarnya. Dia enjoy reading stories. I was thinking about maybe he enjoys reading reports, economical reports ke tak. He enjoys reading literature sebenarnya. Okay. Secondly is our PMX. Okay. He is a person who loves to read philosophical books or maybe religious books. And sebab tu most of his speech, he supported it with naskah ataupun scripts from famous writers. Dia selalu buat macam tu. And finally, Tan Sri Zeti. Zeti Akhtar. Okay, one of our prolific leaders in Malaysia. She is someone who, why is she prolific? Why is she so good at her job? Because she reads a lot. Whenever she have to decide the hala tuju negara in terms of economical punya perspective, she has to read a lot of global economic reports. That is part of her work. Memang kerja dia macam tu before she make any decision. Okay, and the decision is very apa itu, bukan high risk, but decision yang itulah yang penting for the country. So not only that, she have to refer to a lot of documents. It has to be an extensive report as well. Okay, so here are some of the example of expert leaders. Okay, and finally, we've come to the end of the input session. AI as reading companion. AI as reading companion. AI is very useful. It helps us a lot as a teacher, as a student. Do you agree? Do you agree? But you should not rely or over-rely on AI, or else you would not develop your critical thinking ability or critical reading ability. So instead of prompting your AI to, oh, please summarize this article, I'm just going to read the article, the summary only. No, don't do that. Okay, or maybe you ask your AI tools to copy any explanation, okay, without even verifying the meaning behind it. Then you can get lost in translation, and then you can get off tangent whenever it comes to preparing for an assignment. Okay, so use AI to dissect info. Okay, and then because AI have a tendency of hallucination, you can make sure that all of the sources are original sources, and they are legit sources. So how do you use it as companion? Number one, you need to have a purpose. Okay, for example, you are given a text on University Journal article on climate change policy in Malaysia. Okay, climate change policy in Malaysia. And instead of reading a lengthy 2-3 pages article, you ask your AI to summarize this article in 5 key points. Then you know that your reading text have 5 different key points, for example. And then you ask your tool, AI tools, to explain to you how this particular topic here applies to, you know, a different context. For example, flooding issue. Flooding issue is very famous in Pahang, East Coast Malaysia. For example, kita bagi task and to understand or read better, bagi task to your AI. Okay, and maybe you give them a specific task like, what is the limitation of this study? Okay, then only you can read better. Okay, so in my experience as teacher, recently in the past 5 years, the students, a good student is not necessarily the one who reads more, bukan ya? Okay, meaning to say student yang dapat 4 flat ni does not necessarily mean he or she reads more than the others. No, means that he or she have good reading strategy, good reading comprehension strategy, better than the others. You might be reading a lot more, but without good reading strategies, you might not comprehend more. Do you understand what I mean? I hope that it comes across well. So whenever you are handling a large volume of text, like journal ke, reports ke, lab reports ke, kan, assignment briefing ke, kan, you use your AI tools to help you out. Okay, not ask them to think on your behalf, no, but ask them to help you to understand. Okay, so yes, we have come to the end of the sharing session now. At UiTM, your teachers are here to guide you. Okay, your teachers, your lecturers are here to guide you. They will guide you to pass exam, like me here, you know, organizing a webinar to guide you. Okay, they prepare you the assignments you need to read to complete, you know, a project or FYP kan. At university, you read to recall content. Okay, you read to get an answer correct. Okay, you got guidance from your lecturers. But in the real world, the purpose of your reading is different. Okay, you read to make decision. If you hold a big position at your company, perhaps senior manager or manager, you make decisions, and it can give effect to other people as well. So you read to make decision, you read to evaluate information, you read from whenever you read, there are a tendency of having multiple interpretation, not only one correct answer. Okay, and lastly, when you read, you have to learn to filter digital text that is relevant for you. Because again, sources can come from so many points. Okay, you can dapat banyak sumber. You need to be able to learn how to filter the text or script. Okay, and find out which one is legit and which you can simply brush off saja. Okay, so I think we have come to the end of the sharing session. Let's see. Okay, I'm also going to open the session for questions. Ms. Farzana?
Yes, thank you, Puan Hamiza. So is there any questions? You may ask questions, students.
If any. If not, I think they are ready for their assessment next week.
Assessment next week.
What practice?
Okay, so is there any questions? No questions? Okay, so if there are no further questions, I think let's just move on to the closing. So thank you once again to our speaker, Puan Hamiza Zahari, for the insightful and engaging sharing session today. And we truly appreciate your time and valuable knowledge. And we also would like to thank all participants for your active participation throughout this webinar. And we hope that the sharing session today, will be helpful for you to be a more confident and effective reader, and as well as will be helpful for your reading assessment next week as well. Okay, and before we end today's session, we will have a photo session. So everyone, can you please kindly switch on your cameras and smile for the screenshot? We're going to take pictures.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Puan Hamiza. And our students, please turn on your camera.
Hold on, let me stop sharing first. I guess they are preparing to turn on their webcam at the moment. Or perhaps they have overlapping classes. Do they have overlapping classes?
I'm not sure about other classes, but my class is here today. Everyone is here today.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so while we are still waiting for you to turn on your camera, is there any questions that you want to ask regarding reading strategies before we truly end our session today?
Oh.
Or Irman, do you want to ask some question?
Madam, jadi.
Tak ada pula. Okay, so everyone please turn on your camera.
No worries. So LCC 122 is a compulsory university
Subject, yes.
course, is it?
Yes, correct.
And is it for diploma or degree students or both?
For diploma, semester 2 students.
Oh, okay, nice. Most of the students are taking what programs in UiTM Pasir Gudang?
So in Pasir Gudang we have engineering courses and also one business course, transportation.
Nice. They will be in the industry lah. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
correct.
The more reason to be a good reader. The more reason.
Exactly.
Because working in the industry means not only that you have your reputation to take care of. Some works will have a risk of injury. Okay? High risk punya work or task. Therefore, being a good reader is important. Sebenarnya sangat penting.
Okay, so everyone please turn on your camera. We're going to take pictures. We are still waiting for you to turn on your camera.
Perhaps they are working from home, therefore already get to turn on their camera.
More students, please turn on your camera.
I hope that this session today is helpful for you, especially when you are preparing for your test next week.
Okay, all right.
20 marks.
Okay, so please turn on camera. Okay, everyone, please smile. We're going to take picture in 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Puan Hamiza. And like you said, hopefully this session today will definitely be helpful for our students for their reading and writing assessment next week, which is our final assessment actually.
Oh, how many percent?
It's 40%.
Nice. That's a lot at stake. High stake exams. You have to do lots of practice then.
Yes, they do. I'll have to do lots of practice. So once again, thank you so much everyone for joining, and Puan Hamiza especially. So hope to see you again for our next session next year or next semester, inshallah.
Panjang umur. InsyaAllah jumpa lagi. Please do come over to UMPSA.
Of course, inshallah.
Do come over to UMPSA. Please visit us here in Pekan, Pahang.
Oh, Pekan.
Thank you so much, Miza.
Hmm.
Thank you. Sorry, lama buka kamera.
For students, please scan this QR code for attendance. Okay, so make sure you scan the QR code before leaving the meeting. And thank you so much for joining our LCC 122 webinar today, revisiting reading strategies for better comprehension. And have a great day, everyone. See you again in our next session, inshallah. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. See you, bye.
See you.
Thank you, Puan Hamiza.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Puan Hamiza.
Thank you,
And thank you
madam.
to students.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Ja. I'm in another meeting.
Thank you, madam.
Thanks, my students. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Make sure you scan the QR code for attendance.